Right, good morning Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to all of you listeners of the Street 919 FM. As always, thank you so much for choosing the Street as your frequency of choice this morning to take you through the rest of the drive time hour. And you're tuned into Cooking with Dominic on a Sunday morning. So, as I always say, wherever you're taking us in, if it is that you are in your sitting around your kitchen table, good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Giuseppe. If it is that you are now almost finished preparing, preparing lunch, or you're now making your way back from the market, the grocery. I know there are a lot of people who are trying to get in their last minute shopping because the groceries on my way down, I saw a lack of parking, which means people shopping, getting ready for next week. I guess the issue of people not having money, well, that's a discussion for another time. Good morning to Mr. and Mrs. Regis. Good morning to my co-host Sharon and Bruce. All of the staff of the Street 919 FM. Mother Tuna Puna, morning. Morning, Angie. Mano. Oman Oga. Good morning to Jeanette McDonald. Alison Samuel, good morning to you as well. Right. So we started a little bit early this morning. I was supposed to start a little earlier because there's something that I wanted to play. Two matters I wanted to discuss this morning. But I underestimated the traffic. I didn't expect that there would have been so many people on the road today. The traffic coming down was almost as if it was a regular weekday morning. So people are out and about. We'll see how that pans out in respect of the COVID. Yeah? So let's get straight into it. As I said, there was something that I wanted to play, so I'll just start it now, and then when we come back, we will from the ads, we will finish it. Let me just pull this up here. Let me get this, put this on pause. Right. So on Friday last, the Parliament met to debate three names that were submitted by the President from the Police Service Commission. One, the current head of the Police Service, Mr. Jacob. So, a motion, well, there was debate to appoint Mr. Jacob to act as Police Commissioner until the Police Service Commission completes its work with respect to populating a merit list of nominees to fill the substantive post. And there were also two names that were sent for debate with respect to acting appointments to the position of Deputy Commissioners of Police. I don't know how many of you would have had opportunity to look at that debate on Friday, but it was very interesting for more reasons than one. And I'm just going to play the Prime Minister's response to the one person who spoke on behalf of the UNC, Rudal Munilal. Right? So again, I said I don't know how many of you would have listened to it, but for those of you who didn't, it was very instructive and very telling indeed. So let me just get straight to it one time, in the interest of time.
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, as I rejoin this debate, I do so to make it abundantly clear to the national population that the government, outside of this activity today, had absolutely nothing to do with the notification and the recommendations in front of us. I want to repeat that, Madam Speaker, because the member for Oropuch went out of his way to raise and to cultivate a point for the benefit of national misinformation that the government bypass some people and the government select these people, and therefore they are open to political manipulation. It is rather unfortunate that the member for Oropuch East would have done that today, Madam Speaker. As we seek to fill these important positions at the top of the police service, our colleagues who can't find the backbone to vote yes or no and prefer to abstain, right?
Madam Speaker, 48-4. That is insulting who don't have backbone. You have backbone.
Member. Overruled, Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, we've seen votes and decisions are required to be made. And let me say it very clearly. Unlike the rest of our colleagues in this House, we in the government, we don't have the luxury of not making a decision. We have to look at the situation, perfect or in its imperfection, and make a decision. And we have been doing that. And people who fail or cannot bring themselves to make a decision, but instead seek to tarnish the possibility of a smooth operation, to come here today and to name the officer and to identify Officer Williams as having made a comment in a press conference and to caution and to warn him about political manipulation. I want to ask my colleague from Orapuch East, when he was in the house of a commissioner of police partying.
Madam Speaker, 48-6. He is imputing improper motives to a member.
Member. Member, I'm standing. Member, I'm standing. I quite understand that, you know, we might all be a bit tired, but I want us to sort of, you know, take all our wherewithal today and abide by the standing orders. Okay? So, I overrule on the standing order. Member, you wanted to raise a standing order? Member Fanapri?
Yeah, no, 48-4, implying he does it over and over.
48-4 doesn't have to do with imputing improper motive.
Madam Speaker, I will not be distracted. The member had an opportunity to enter a debate. He entered the debate and he made specific positions with respect to this matter of political interference.
48-4 was not relevant. That is offensive and insulting. No, I'm asking for clarification. It's offensive and insulting. And when he told my colleague that when the Prime Minister told my colleague that he was in a situation that is offensive.
Member, you said imputing. I never said anything about irrelevance. I am sure the mics work here. I told you 48-4 has nothing to do with imputing improper motives. When you quote me correctly. Overrule. Continue, Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I will not be distracted. The member for Orapuch East in his presentation was at pains to indicate that this officer who we are being asked to support for the position of Deputy Commissioner of Police is a questionable appointment, since he was seen to have made a congratulatory remark about an incoming minister. And as far as my colleague from Orapuch East is concerned, for a police officer to have been happy that another police officer is today the minister, and that makes him malleable to political manipulation. All I'm saying, if that is the basis for introducing political manipulation and tarnishing the record of this officer coming forward for this position, I'm saying here is a politician making that argument in the parliament, but that politician was quite happy to accept an invitation, one that I turned down, because I too was invited to the party. I didn't go. He went to the party in the home of the Commissioner of Police.
All right, so we go to the ads, and when we come back, I will continue with this this clip. So stay locked.
come to teach all about Parang and South. Let me explain it. Well, Christmas morning, I calling my friends. Say bring your instrument and yes, they gather all of them. We making a plan. Who we hitting first and what song we singing and who doing the first, but that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where I come from, Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. We drinks in me hand, Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. Well, on to the next house. I'm feeling nice. You have to leave the paper glass, but you can take the ice. We singing one more song because we don't stick. And well, we shake the neighbor gate with pure Parang music. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where I come from, Parang, Parang. Palo Seco gang, Parang, Parang. Instruments in me hand, Parang, Parang. We hitting the 10th house. It's Parang with bass, but something smelling awfully now say in the people place. When I turn around to the man on the bass, I notice he have dog mess on his shoes and his shoelace, but that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Hey, where we come from, Parang, Parang. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Once you understand, Parang, Parang. Yeah, man. House number 20. Can't remember a verse. I cannot hear the G-sharp cause the quattro string it burst. Everybody real tight. I kick in the ground. When the marak man he fall down in the drain and nearly drown. Well, that is Parang, Parang, Parang. Yeah, where we come from, Parang, Parang. Is man and woman, Parang, Parang. We drinks and we have Parang, Parang. Yeah.
Enagic change your water, change your life. Enagic water purifier, one machine, 5 types of water. Enagic makes strong Kangen water with an 11.5 pH. Kangen water with 8.5 to 9.5 pH, healthy drinking and cooking water. Clean water with 7.0 pH. Beauty water for skin, hair and plants with a 6.0 pH. Strong acid water with a 2.5 pH. This water is known to disinfect, kill viruses and bacteria. Listen to the Street 919 FM with Pastor Alkaline John every Tuesday from 9:05 a.m. to 10 a.m. and every Wednesday from 8:05 p.m. to 9 p.m. as he talks to you weekly about how to improve your quality of life through purifying and drinking water. For more information, call or WhatsApp Pastor John at 516-286-7079.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylist Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylist Furniture Limited. Stylist Furniture Limited. For this time in you.
Just got your CXC or CAPE results? Then start your degree today at CTS College and choose from many of our pathways in business management, business administration, human resource management, marketing, finance, management information systems, computer engineering, computing and information systems. Full and partial scholarships are available. CTS College, where education is beyond academics.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to listen to the live Temple of Restoration, Pastor Curlin and the team. The Temple of Restoration is located at number 12 Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, opposite the Curep taxi stand. For more information, contact 488-4413 or 777-8691. The Temple of Restoration, where Jesus changes lives.
Craftsman's Corner is celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and we want to say thank you to Tobago. It's a celebration down by Craftsman Corner. The month of December, down by Craftsman Corner. All the brands you know and trust, down by Craftsman Corner. 20% off, hey, down by Craftsman Corner. We are offering up to 20% off store-wide, even on new arrivals for the entire month of December. We carry the brands you love and trust, like DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, Stanley, Total, Inco, Craig, and much more. Celebrate with us for our 1-year anniversary at the Craftsman's Corner at number 24 Sincere Street in Canaan. Call or WhatsApp us at 333-8548. When you make your visit, make sure and wear your mask and sanitize. All COVID-19 protocols observed. Season's greetings from the management and staff at the Craftsman's Corner. Come celebrate in your corner.
This Trinity Cookmas is the best with Maggie and Carnation. Win 1 of 5 stoves. Just purchase $25 worth of Maggie or Carnation products and enter online or entry boxes for a chance to win. 5 winners win a stove for the new year. So parang pot from now until December 30th with Maggie and Carnation, and make sure to include Maggie green seasoning or Maggie pepper sauce. Follow Maggie Caribbean and Carnation Caribbean on Facebook and Instagram, and NestleRecipesCaribbean.com for the best Christmas recipes.
The Street 919 FM is bringing the Christmas spirit right into your homes, vehicles, and on your mobile phones like never before. Hey, Christmas time with the best Soca Parang mix. Yes, join this exciting segment, Parang Soca Fever, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 9:45 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 6:45 p.m. until Christmas.
This is Christmas, so have a Merry Christmas.
Right here on your favorite Christmas station, The Street 919 FM.
This is Christmas, a sweet Jamaica Christmas.
Sponsored by Shandy Royal Castle. Our culture, our taste. And B-Mobile. Must wish it to win it.
The Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James is now on the Street 919 FM every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday. The Bible says, the Gospel of the Kingdom shall be preached in all the world as a witness to all nations, and then the end shall come. For more info, call 652-0924 or 298-4540 and join us every second, third, and fourth Thursday from 8 to 9 p.m. and every first and third Sunday from 12 a.m. to 5 a.m. Monday for the Gospel of the Kingdom radio program with Gilbert James.
Hey guys, it's Aisha Wells here. Listen up. If you're considering selling or renting your house in Trinidad and Tobago, then call Keelan George with O'Neill's Real Estate Group. He's a good friend of mine and he's been in the business for over 6 years. First, selling real estate in Atlanta, Georgia, and now right here in Trinidad and Tobago. He has a strategic online marketing presence that actually attracts thousands of home buyers and renters. Plus, with his home selling advice and techniques, he's getting homes sold really fast. Keelan will actually guarantee you sell your home, or get this, you can cancel the listing agreement and pay nothing at any time. That's right, you heard me, nothing at any time. Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, people. Check out www.o'neillrealestateTT.com. O'Neill is spelled O-N-E-I-L, or just call Keelan direct at 363-4030. That's 363-4030.
Police, good day. Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division? Yes, sir. I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries. Excuse me, sir? Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488? Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries. So I could buy a battery for $488? Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive. Which part? Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arrowbita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 63 Tools. Alright, thanks boss. Nah man. Granny, do you have $488 to lend, man?
Turn your lights down low and listen to the Master's Radio.
The Church of the Firstborn Assembly of number 399 Eastern Main Road, Waiko Sangre Grande, is pleased to present Pastors Morris and Agnes Johnson and guest. Sundays, Tuesdays, and Friday night, Sunday Ministry of Worship, Children Hour, and the Word from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesdays, see Jesus in every book of the Bible from Genesis to Revelation from 9 p.m. and Friday night, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. all night prayer for our nation. Tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell everyone. For further information, visit with us at www.churchofthefirstbornassembly.org or on Facebook. Email us at church668hope@gmail.com or call us at 753-1113 or 236-7271. Your free gifts and offerings will be greatly appreciated at Church of the Firstborn Assembly, account number 795222 at the First Citizens Bank.
Get in touch with God. Turn your radio on.
Yo, this is a Big Mike, not the mass man, the health man. Are you one of the 40 million people suffering with joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis or osteoarthritis? Well, you are listening to the right ad. You have the ailment, we have the remedy. Call us now on 288-8301 or 346-2612.
Don't forget to tune in right here on the street 919 FM every Wednesday from 10:05 a.m.
Performance, beat all talk.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. 919 FM.
The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
And welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. So I continue with the clip of the Prime Minister's response, or the Prime Minister's contribution, winding up contribution from last Friday in the Parliament, House of Representatives, where 3 names were debated to fill the executive positions of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. So we continue.
Manipulation. All I'm saying, if that is the basis for introducing political manipulation and tarnishing the record of this officer coming forward for this position, I'm saying here is a politician making that argument in the Parliament, but that politician was quite happy to accept an invitation, one that I turned down, because I too was invited to the party. I didn't go. He went to the party in the home of the Commissioner of Police, so therefore he went to influence him. Madam Speaker, I'm simply raising this so that the population could understand the hypocrisy that passes for those who want to influence the national debate. And I could tell you more, Madam Speaker. You have time? I could tell you more. I could tell you about a police operation that was stopped dead in its tracks and was followed immediately by the member of Orapuch East sitting in a restaurant with the Commissioner of Police.
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, 48-8, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, 48-8. 48. Madam Speaker, this abuse cannot...
Okay, so now we've had an opportunity to vent. Can we all proceed? Prime Minister.
Can we have a ruling on 48-8, please? He's raising the conduct. The Prime Minister is raising the conduct of a...
Overrule.
I'm still on the subject of political influence on the part of an officer, a senior officer in the police service. I didn't raise it, it was raised by the member for Orapuch East. And all I'm saying, Madam Speaker, that if the member is so concerned about a comment of congratulation, I would want to know whether he is similarly concerned about a member of parliament, right? In the way I've just described.
This is irrelevant to the names.
It might be irrelevant to you. It might be irrelevant to you.
Overruled.
I am simply saying, Madam Speaker, and let me end on this note, for those who understand it. The healthy interest of some of us in the police service is not healthy for this country. Eh? Understand that. And secondly, as they say in Tobago parlance, that goat that calling for the water and bawling for the water, not he you want it. Eh? Watch. 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 Madam Speaker, when the member comes here and tries to imply in his presentation that something improper is happening, I simply want to remind him that what is happening here has its origin, its authority in section 123 of the Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago. And I want to ask the member, since he alluded to the fact that change is required there, whether in the sea of abstention, whether he is prepared to tell this House that if we want to change section 123 to do what he says should be done, which is not to have to come here every time to make an appointment to a temporary position, an acting position, whether they will vote in support of the changing of section 123. But I guarantee you, Madam Speaker, I guarantee you, if we bring that to this House and ask for their support to make that change to the Constitution, so we don't have to come and do what a month ago, 1 month ago, they were jumping up and down all over the country saying that it must come before the Parliament to get an appointment to an acting position. But today, he suddenly finds that the constitutional authority to do that, and there's no other authority to do it. He finds that that is not acceptable. I defy any one of them to get up now and make a comment in support of the fact that a 3/5 majority would be had to change section 123 so we don't have to do this. You sit down, you have no authority. You can't speak for anybody in this House. You have no authority, you have no office.
Member for Naparima, there is a way to make an interjection. There is a way to do it.
And to sell, Madam Speaker, to sell the misinformation, my colleague from Orapuch East made the point that there are 11 other officers and he wants to know why this one is before us. Madam Speaker, that is the function of the Police Service Commission. Whether there is 11 or 11, it is the Police Service Commission that looks at the crop and picks and sends it to the president to come to this house. And all we are required to do is to approve or disapprove. And if we don't approve, then the commission will send another name and another name and another name. That is the process, Madam Speaker. Why is a member of parliament coming here to give the impression that the government handpicks somebody for political manipulation? Why? To confuse the population, to create disquiet, to create doubt. That is what our colleagues in this house specialize in. Madam Speaker, I simply want, before I end, to set the record straight. Because they go into the courthouse because they believe they have some special arrangement in the courthouse. I don't know about that. I made no position about seniority. I don't know what the Police Service Commission took into account to select these officers. What I did say is that from their record in front of us, they are educated, qualified, and experienced. That's what I said. I took no position about seniority, Madam Speaker, and I heard Orapuch East hammering it into Hansard because they intend to take the Hansard to the courthouse to go and say the Prime Minister said it was done by virtue of seniority. The same thing they did here with the EBC matter. Come to the parliament and create a straw man and then go to the court. But thankfully the court is independent and they were chased out of court with it. I saw him doing that here today, putting words in my mouth, putting it on Hansard. And then when they run to court to go and say the Prime Minister said that these people were selected on seniority, I want to make it abundantly clear. I chose my word very carefully. I discharged my responsibility with great humility and correction. And I do not want any assistance from my colleague in Orapuch East in saying what I said on Hansard. Because I do not know of the seniority of these officers. And the government took no part in the process. And I want to end on that note. The government's only role in here is to either agree or disagree with what is put in front of us by the president, having come from the Independent Police Service Commission. And you all are always talking from the back of your necks and coming here and confusing the house and confusing the country. You would, right? Madam Speaker, I beg to
allow
move.
this bully to speak in such language?
Member for Orapuch East, I overrule. Be it resolved, honorable members, member for Laventille West. Honorable members, the question is, be it resolved that a notification of the President of the nomination by the Police Service Commission of Mr. Wendell Williams to act in the office of Deputy Commissioner of Police be approved. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any against? I think the ayes have it. Honorable members, a division has been called for. As you know, we will wait 3 minutes for members who are not in the chamber to make their way to the chamber, and then the vote will commence. Any member who has not come to the chamber when his turn has been called will be allowed to vote once he or she arrives in the chamber before the vote is announced. The 3 minutes commences now. So, honorable members, the vote shall commence. I am again to remind that my approval was given to one member, the member for San Fernando East, to participate virtually. Clerk.
Mrs. Robinson Regis? Aye. Dr. Rowley?
Aye.
Mr. Alwari?
Aye.
Mr. Imbert?
Yes.
Mr. Young?
Yes.
Ms. Beckles?
Yes.
Mr. Hines?
Aye.
Mr. Dial Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Ford?
Aye.
Mrs. Webster Roy? Aye. Ms. Kujo? Aye. Dr. Gatsby Dolly?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Makashi?
Aye.
Mr. Cummings?
Yes.
Does somebody have on a device? Okay, all right. Please continue.
Mr. Richards? Mr. Manning? Mr. Manning?
Aye.
Mr. Leons?
Yes.
Mrs. Morris Julian?
Aye.
Mr. Dino Brega?
Aye.
Mr. Scotland? Mr. Monroe? Mr. Lee?
Abstain.
Mr. Amin?
I abstain.
Mr. Charles?
Abstain.
Dr. Munilal?
Abstain.
Mr. Pare?
Abstain.
Mr. Indara Singh?
Abstain.
Dr. Sitaran?
Abstain.
Mr. Hussain?
I abstain.
Mr. Padarat?
Abstain.
Ms. Mohit?
Abstain.
Mr. Tanku?
I abstain.
Ms. Benjamin? Dr. Ragbe? Mr. Ram? Mr. Ratiran? Madam Speaker, the results of this division are 22 members voted for, no members voted against, and there were 15 abstentions.
Honorable members, on a division with 22 members voting for, no members voting against, and 15 abstentions, the motion is carried and passed.
Right. So that was the Parliament on Friday gone. The House of Representatives undertook an exercise to fill 3 of 4 vacant positions on the executive of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, that of an acting commissioner and 2 acting deputy commissioners. So I deliberately played it through to the vote so that you could hear how the members of the opposition voted, right? In a manner to which we have become accustomed from members of the opposition on any issue of grave importance in this country, right? Abstain. As the Prime Minister said, they don't have the backbone to register a vote of yes or no. They abstain. Neither fish nor fowl, friend nor foe, here nor there. Abstain. That's what they're getting paid to do, to come in the Parliament. They make a big ruckus outside for weeks on end, and then come in the Parliament when the vote is to be taken on the issue to resolve whatever issues they have, and they abstain. You would have noted that there was one particular name, well, 4 actually, but one in particular that was not called on the opposition bench for a vote to be registered, that of the leader of the opposition, Kamla Prasad Bisesa. She was not present in the chamber. when the vote was taken. I don't think she was present for the sitting. If she was earlier, I stand to be corrected, but I don't think that she was. Now, why I sought to play this morning, right? Here it is that a situation was addressed on Friday in the parliament. A situation which the UNC opposition for the past month and more characterized as a national crisis, constitutional crisis. That the police service of Trinidad and Tobago was without leadership. It was rudderless. And leading that charge was the leader of the opposition, Mrs. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, the highest paid public servant in this country, receiving Prime Minister pension, Prime Minister's salary as pension, receiving some $30,000 a month as the leader of the opposition, and some $18,000 or so a month as the member of parliament, the elected member of parliament for Superior, right? So she making more money than all the other members of parliament. Yet she didn't find it fit to be in the parliament on Friday to vote on this most important issue. She, having led the charge for the last month or 2 months, where this situation was so dire that they saw it fit, she saw it fit, to bring a motion to impeach the President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. First time in the history of this country such a thing had happened. Why? Because the actions of the President resulted in the police service of Trinidad and Tobago, that independent institution, being thrown into crisis, where there was no commissioner, there was no acting commissioner, there was no deputy commissioner. Of course, there was a deputy commissioner duly appointed by the parliament. But again, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar would not have known that, because when the parliament debated the name MacDonald Jacob to be appointed to the position of deputy commissioner, Mrs. Persad-Bissessar, again in April, I think the 21st, was not in the parliament chamber. Again, the job for which she's being paid, she was not in the parliament chamber. In fact, none of them were in the chamber. They had left earlier because of some bacchanal or wherever it is. So they chose to absent themselves, right? Great. But it was so important. This issue was so important to them. Mrs. Persad-Bissessar was concerned over the past 2 months that there were some 2,500 police officers who were due for promotion. And because there was no leader, there was no head of the police service, there was nobody to approve these promotions. These promotions of these officers was in abeyance. And what are these officers to do? There is nobody to issue firearm users licenses. All of these things she was concerned about. That there is, in the absence of a leader in the police service, that would have a significant impact on the morale of the police officers, because there's nobody to guide them. And she was so concerned when the Prime Minister left and he went to COP26, how the Prime Minister could do that, leave the country in a constitutional crisis, that the police service is without a leader. It's so bad, it's terrible. The Prime Minister has no regard for the citizens of this country, that he bought a plane and gone to Scotland to attend COP26 and left the country in a mess with respect to this whole issue of the Police Service Commission, which collapsed, and the police service being rudderless and all of that. And she committed that she was not going to give up on this matter. This is too important. Night after night, day after day, they call in Sunday morning press conference to talk about that. Douglaya politics talking about it. Every opportunity that they get, they need to highlight the situation. Up to now, the leader of the opposition is yet to respond to the president's letter to her, containing the names of persons who have been recommended to serve on the Police Service Commission. Well, we know that matter. Those names have been debated. The Police Service Commission is now in place, and they are working assiduously such that they were able to generate these 3 names to send to the parliament for debate, so that the police service can have leadership. The leadership that Mrs. Persad-Bissessar was so concerned about for the last 2 months. Yet, she didn't see it fit to attend Parliament on Friday. She had better things to do with her time than to come and ensure that she registered a vote so that the police service can have leadership, and that the concerns that she had, that the police service is in crisis and the country is going through a constitutional crisis, that matter would be resolved. In fact, not only her, 4 other members of the opposition chose, she and 3 others chose to absent themselves on the Parliament on Friday. For them. It wasn't important enough. They had better things to do. Perhaps shopping for Christmas or something like that. I don't know. Right? They had better things to do with their time. Please note that all 22 members of the government were present. Even Mr. Manning, Brian Manning, who is recuperating from COVID, saw it fit to seek the speaker's leave to attend the session virtually so that he could register his vote. So that all 22 members of the government and the government bench did the job for which they are being paid. presented themselves in the parliament, the debate took place, and a vote was taken, and so now the police has a substantive head. Well, acting in the person of McDonald Jacob, and we have 2 deputy commissioners of police also appointed. No thanks to the opposition who chose, as the Prime Minister said, to demonstrate no backbone, no spine, only cowardice. We will abstain. So we're not voting yes and we're not voting no. So the 19 constituencies that you represent, the constituents who you serve have no idea what that means. Abstain. Again, I stress to members of the opposition that when you go to the parliament, your vote is not your vote. Your vote is supposed to reflect the views and the desires of the people who you represent. The people who voted for you, who gave you the majority vote so that you could go to the parliament, right? The people who gave you the votes to ensure that allow you the privilege to be able to receive a salary every month, thousands of dollars every month, in addition to other perks, to represent them, and their voices could be heard in the parliament through you. So when you choose to take a 5-day weekend, as we were told by the former commissioner of police, and absent yourself from the parliament on such a important debate, what does that say about you? What does that say about your regard for the people who voted for you? Same thing last time. Well, let's train up the people about the state of emergency. We're not supporting that. We're not supporting that. Come out in your numbers. Drive around the parliament, turn on your lights and honk your horn. Yes. We must demonstrate to this government, this wicked and evil PNM government, this dictatorship. We must let them know that the people not in support. Come out in your numbers. People come out in the numbers, blow horn, turn on light, get ticket. $1,000. And then all they go in the parliament after you chain them up and abstain. UNC supporters, well, you're not ashamed. You're not embarrassed. Abstain. Well, at least the PNM supporters could say that the police service now has leadership thanks to their representatives. No thanks to the UNC. None. All right? None whatsoever. But in his usual bacchanal style and bacchanal form, the member for Oropouche East, the man I call the quintessential clown, Rudal Munilal, in his contribution to the debate, decided to cast aspersions on the suitability of Mr. Wendell Williams to serve as a deputy commissioner of police. And his reason is, and why he cast aspersions, and his concerns with Mr. Williams's impartiality, is that back in April, a press conference, the police service had a press conference, which was headed by then Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith, which was attended by Mr. Williams, and Mr. Williams took the opportunity to congratulate the recently appointed Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines, who I believe had been appointed Minister of National Security some 2 days or so prior to that. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's only appropriate. Mr. Williams went on to indicate or to express delight on behalf of the other members of the police service that one of their former colleagues, because Mr. Hines, as I understand, was a former policeman, to express delight that a former policeman is now serving, has now been appointed to the position of Minister of National Security. Because of that, Mr. Munilal found it inappropriate. He don't think that an officer of the rank of Mr. Williams should be congratulating a government minister on being appointed Minister of National Security. And therefore, somehow that tainted Mr. Williams's impartiality and perhaps hinted that maybe Mr. Williams is a supporter of the People's National Movement and therefore he is malleable to political influence, political manipulation. And so that is the only thing that he could offer. The other concern he had was that there was another person who perhaps applied for the position of Deputy Commissioner of Police, that person being Miss Joanne Archie, who, until the ratification of Mr. Williams's nomination, was Mr. Williams's senior. So Mr. Munilal indicated that the members of the opposition, they are always reliably informed, that Joanne Archie is senior and therefore, and so on, and therefore they can't understand why Mr. Williams's name came and not that of Joanne Archie. Never mind the fact that prior to making that statement, he pointed out that there are 3 positions for Deputy Commissioner of Police, but only 2 names were sent to the Parliament for debate by the Police Service Commission. And he wondered why 3 names were not sent. So there is still one position of Deputy Commissioner of Police that is yet to be filled, which could possibly be filled by Miss Joanna Achi. But being the bacchanalist that he is, let me come and throw something in the mix, right? Now I pointed out that there are three positions, only 2 names came. Why not 3? You don't know if it is perhaps maybe Miss Archie's name is being considered, but perhaps the commission might have requested some additional information, or maybe there's some outstanding information that they need before they make a final decision. But you come and preempt the thing to imply that it have some kankatang or some bacchanal as to why Joanna Archie's name didn't come forward, and why Mr. Williams, and who is junior to Miss Archie, and all kind of bacchanal. So it means then that if it is that when the 3rd name comes to Parliament to fill the 3rd position, if that name is Joanna Archie's, you know what they'll say? Well, it's only because Munilal raised it, and because they wanted to avoid embarrassment that they pick her. You give the impression now that you're speaking on behalf of Joanna Archie, that maybe Joanna Archie probably call you and tell you, well, hey, look, so is the case, and whatever, raise it in the Parliament. That's the impression that you're giving, that there was some sort of political, but these are the same people who were implying before that perhaps the reason why the Prime Minister didn't want Gary Griffith to continue as Commissioner of Police is because he wanted to appoint Joanna Archie. All of that was coming from the opposition camp. Now they're changing the tune, so what happened to that? The Prime Minister changed his mind? You see, when you all come with conspiracy theories that has no basis in fact or substance, and you put that into the public domain, you cause bacchanal and confusion. The clown then went on to complain that all they received was the CVs of the names that came before them, but they did not receive the CVs and the resumes of the other people who applied for the position but who were rejected. And so they wanted to see the CVs of everybody to determine whether or not the most suitable candidate was selected. Now, isn't that the function of the Police Service Commission? If it is that you are asking or advocating that members of Parliament receive the CVs and the resumes of everybody who applied for the position of Deputy Commissioner and Commissioner of Police, so that you could scrutinize to decide whether or not the Police Service Commission made the best choice based on simply on the CVs and the resumes, then we don't need a Police Service Commission. Just have the people submit their applications and send it to the parliamentarians and let them review it and let the parliamentarians make the choice. What is the purpose of the Police Service Commission? Not to vet all of the CVs, but that is not the only criteria. Because these people also have to be interviewed. And coming out of the interviews and perhaps other information that the Police Service Commission would request, they would then make a determination as to who are the best candidates. But apparently that clown don't understand that. He don't understand that. You see, because he figured that choosing a commissioner and deputy commissioner is probably, you would use the same system that they used when they were in office to select contractors. So like when they had to outfit or they had to renovate the ambassador's residence in Geneva, and they say, well, we want 3 quotes. Send 3 quotes, so, and we'll evaluate the 3 quotes and we will just pick somebody. Bypass tender process, never mind the fact that now they're always talking about procurement, this and procurement that, and procurement legislation, that they didn't know about that when they decided to just get 3 quotes and we will decide who willing to offer the biggest bribe, well, or who willing to give the biggest kickback, well, that is who we will choose. So 3 quotes, right, this one, 24 million, 21 million, 27 million. Yeah, let me talk to the 27 million man now. How much, well, here what you could do. We give you the contract, you give it, and then you would subcontract to the man who bid 21 million, and the next 6 million, we share it up. What do you say about that? Yeah? All right, we're going with that. Apparently, that's probably what you're looking for. Common sense. You ain't vote. Well, you voted to abstain. All of them, 15 of them, we abstain. Same thing they did when Gary Griffith was nominated in 2018. What did they do? They run up their mouth, say, oh, the government racist because this guy, what was his name? Deodath Dulal Chan, that he was senior and that he's been there for so long, and that based on his resume and his CV and so on, he's ideal to fill the position. And they supported him over Gary Griffith. Going so far, one of their members, no longer in the parliament, going so far as to say the reason why they didn't want to choose Deodath Dulal Chan is because he's an Indian. Yes, it's on Hansard, could go back and check it. Right? Government voted for Gary Griffith back then The entire cabinet had confidence in Mr. Griffith before he started to bump his gum and shoot himself in the foot and now in the mouth. Mr. Griffith was duly elected based on votes from the government side. Opposition abstained. Now they are the loudest defenders of Gary Griffith. All of a sudden, Gary's the best thing since sliced bread. And they defending Gary to the hilt. They're his de facto defenders. But all they didn't vote for the man. You all abstained. You didn't vote yea, you didn't vote nay. What's the issue? What's the issue? That is what we've come to expect from the opposition. The government in waiting. The Prime Minister in waiting wasn't in the Parliament on Friday. She didn't see it fit. As Mr. Griffith told us, 5-day weekend starts when? Wednesday? All right. Wednesday or Thursday? I can't remember which one. I think it was one of those days. So apparently the 5-day weekend started, so she started paranging early for Christmas. She can't wait until next weekend. She start early. All right. But to the supporters of the opposition, just remember, the police service now has leadership. 3 out of 4 executive positions filled, and no thanks to any of your members of parliament. Right? So your voice was not heard. So if you support or you're not supporting, well, that support or lack of support was not registered, so it is a moot point. Now, I wanted to start early this morning because there was another issue that I wanted to touch on quickly, and of course it has to do with, I can't pass this Sunday without discussing Tobago, right? And the development with respect to the Attorney General seeking an interpretation from the court with respect to the position of Watson Duke. And since that announcement was made, the Attorney General has come under fire from a lot of people who are, of course, supporting Mr. Duke, or not necessarily supporting Mr. Duke, but who are just haters of the government and therefore haters of the Attorney General and will do anything to criticize. And people keep focusing on the PSA, the PSA, the PSA. As the Attorney General would have pointed out, the PSA is not the only president of the PSA, or presidency of the PSA is not the only position that Mr. Watson Duke holds, right? He's also, let me see if I get the correct terminology here. What is that position? He serves on the Registration and Certification Board, a position for which he receives compensation, right? And he holds that position by virtue of his presidency in the PSA. However, we've not heard any indication from Mr. Duke of an intention to step down from that position. Some would assume, well, okay, well, if it is that position is derived from his presidency of the PSA, once he steps down from the PSA, automatically he would cease to serve on that board, and whoever replaces him would then take up that position. I don't know if it is perhaps Mr. Duke was hoping that position, which most people don't know about, would have just remain under the radar. Because make no mistake about it, Mr. Duke's conundrum, his dilemma stems from the fact that his current lifestyle is based on certain remunerations that he receives from a variety of different places. It is my understanding, alleged, that Mr. Duke's remuneration as president of the PSA is in the vicinity of some $79,000 a month. It is alleged, but I am reliably informed, right? $79,000 a month. And then he would have been receiving monies from the certification board. He would have been receiving monies as an assemblyman, and wherever else he receives money from. Now, he's about to suffer a significant pay cut, because I am certain, and I'll pull it up when we go to the ads, and I will give you the exact figures when we come back, that the compensation or the remuneration as an assemblyman and a secretary of the THA doesn't come anywhere close to what Mr. Duke was earning as the PSA president in terms of actual salary and other benefits which Mr. Duke has been enjoying for the last 12 years. Because aside from salary, as you know, Mr. Duke has an affinity for very expensive vehicles. So I think when the Mercedes-Benz got into the accident recently, that was replaced by a Range Rover. I don't know if that is being leased on Mr. Duke's behalf by the PSA, or if it was purchased, or whatever the case is. There are concerns in the PSA camp that while Mr. Duke has offered his resignation, and let me make that distinction. Mr. Duke has offered his resignation. He did not tender his resignation. There's a fundamental difference between the two. Because for those of us who have taken the time to read Mr. Duke's resignation letter, he indicated that he's offering his resignation to the Conference of Delegates, and he hopes that they will accept. Hope in that context suggests some level of uncertainty, some level of doubt, the possibility that the resignation may not be accepted. He has not definitively stated in that letter that he has resigned, but I am offering offer and acceptance, those of us who know contract law and so on. So an offer has been made, and that offer could be rejected or it could be accepted. What happens in the case that if the Conference of Delegates decides that they're not going to accept Mr. Duke's resignation, then what? Now, for those of us who've had the pleasure, and I say pleasure, of tendering a resignation, we would know the letter would usually say, this letter serves to, as formal notice of my resignation effective such and such date. Or, please be advised that I hereby tender my resignation effective immediately. I hereby tender my resignation effective such and such date. There is no offer. I'm not offering you. I am telling you that I am tendering my resignation and that on this date or on this time, I intend to part ways with this organization, whether you like it or not. Right? So there is no room for you to contemplate and consider whether or not and make a counter offer. I have decided I am leaving and I'm giving you notice as is required that on this date I will cease to perform any functions as an employee of this organization. Full stop. That is not what Mr. Duke did. Right? He has not indicated that on this date he is going to leave. He's saying, I would like to. It is my hope that I could leave on this date, of course, with your leave, with your permission. But if you decide you're not going to give me that, you're not going to accept this resignation because I'm so good at what I do, and you realize that there is nobody else who could do what I do because I am the greatest of all times. I'm the greatest trade union leader that has ever walked the streets of Trinidad and Tobago. His words, right? Better than even Butler. And if you all have the view that only I can do what I do and decide that you're not going to accept it, then we need to come up with some solution, which is for me to stay on absent any compensation. So that is the issue. So the Attorney General, Mr. Al-Rawi, is asking the court to make a determination whether or not, in fact, Mr. Duke can do that. Now, if the court comes back and says, yes, there's nothing wrong with it, so be it. Okay? But Mr. Duke's leader, quote unquote, his boss, quote unquote, did a press conference where he's questioning, the actions of the Attorney General. So he went about to say, as we've heard, that he will not take advice from the Attorney General. He will take advice from Hochoy Charles. Never mind the fact that Hochoy Charles singing from the same hymn book and the same chorus as Faris Al-Rawi. For those of us who would have heard Mr. Hochoy Charles's interview, he was very critical of Mr. Augustine, right? But I will take licks, right? And I will take criticism from Hochoy because Hochoy is a Tobagonian, but I will not take it from Faris because Faris is not Tobagonian. Never mind the fact that he's a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, but in the context of he's not from Tobago, and therefore I don't want to hear nothing from him, right? But I would have expressed on the night of the election and a couple days after my hope that there could be some sort of harmonious relationship between the THA, which I lead, and the central government. But then I make the first salvo to try and muddy the waters with respect to that whole relationship, right? So we made a whole set of campaign promises which we cannot fulfill, and so now rather than take licks for it to show that we were irresponsible in the first place to make those promises, we will now come and create a narrative to say, well, it ain't had no money, and that's why we can't fulfill these promises. And the central government just trying to punish Tobagonians for voting for the PDP, and so they holding back and back squeezing money, which is why we can't give the people the ex gratia payment 1 week to go before Christmas. You know, many people give all their vote because they were hoping to get $1,000 to buy groceries for Christmas. Dip in all their pocket and give them shucks, and when you find the money, well, you could reimburse yourself. But anyway, I want to ask Fali. Fali gave an example talking about he is the vice president of a non-profit organization called some FIDES or something, and asking, so should I resign from my position as vice president of FIDES? I don't receive any money for that, and so on and so on. And therefore it's the same situation with Mr. Duke. I want to ask Fali. Fali, are you still on the payroll of the Ministry of Education as a teacher? Are you still receiving your salary as a teacher, Fali? Asking that question, or did you resign? Because if you're saying what Duke doing is okay and is all right, well, then you should tell them to call the service commission and say, well, here what, I'll remain as a teacher but without pay. I want to know if that's what you did. Folks, the ads are upon us. Please stay locked. We will be right back.
Production. Hey, 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 hey.
Christmas morning, rain was falling, day was dawning, he came calling. When I asked him what he want, he told me he's fronting. And just so he start a front in the yard and singing, run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything. He catch me off guard and unprepared in my own yard. He got me scared, but was in a Christmas mood. To him I tried to explain, Mister, all I have is food. But he started to sing again. Run something, anything. Run something, anything. Run something, anything. Yo no tiene dinero, yo sí tiene comida. Bring something for me, 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 bring something for me. I was waiting on a posse, celebrating to visit me. But as I opened the door, just saw this grandpa appeared. Asked him what he looking for, just like that he sang and said, run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything. Run something, anything, run something, anything. Run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything, run something, anything. Well, yeah, you could do your thing there.
Simpsons Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpsons Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families in honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include professional funeral and pre-planning, burials and cremation, custom-built and imported caskets, coffins and cremation trays, cemetery management, limousines, mourners cars, grief counseling, web streaming of funerals, fully air-conditioned chapel with live musical accompaniment, full global shipping and receiving of loved ones. We specialize in facial restorations. Call us anytime, day or night, at 623-8688. That number again is 623-8688. Simpsons Memorial Limited. Superior service, always with excellence.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring.
We're back, and we came straight to Royal Castle to pick up some delicious food. We got a queen bucket, a king bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra sides, a rotisserie chicken, and a snack box. Oh, and that delicious honey mustard sauce, it's really lashing. Rudolph, do you think we should get some for Mrs. Claus and the elves, too? Happy holidays from Royal Castle.
Tune in to the Street 919 FM every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. to listen to the live Temple of Restoration, Pastor Curlin and the team. The Temple of Restoration is located at number 12 Endeavor Road, Chaguanas, opposite the Curep taxi stand. For more information, contact 488-4413 or 777-8691. The Temple of Restoration, where Jesus changes lives.
It's an Extra Foods Plenty for 20 Christmas with over 1,000 items on special just for you. Mama Soup Noodles, 10 for $20. Fruit juices, 8 for $20. Holiday cheese sticks, 8 for $20. Cold soft drinks, 12 for $20. Brand nuts, 7 for $20. Lay's potato chips, 7 for $20. Pepsi or 7-Up, 6 for $20. Old Snacks Chewy Granola Bars, 7 for $20. And so much more. Plus, Extra Foods is open from 7 a.m. to midnight until December 23rd. Merry Christmas from Extra Foods. Always extra for less.
Craftsman's Corner is celebrating their 1-year anniversary, and we want to say thank you to Tobago. It's a celebration down by Craftsman Corner. The month of December, down by Craftsman Corner. All the brands you know and trust, down by Craftsman Corner. 20% off, down by Craftsman Corner. We are offering up to 20% off store-wide, even on new arrivals for the entire month of December. We carry the brands you love and trust, like DeWalt, Makita, Milwaukee, Stanley, Total, Inco, Craig, and much more. Celebrate with us for our 1-year anniversary at the Craftsman's Corner at number 24 Sincere Street in Canaan. Call or WhatsApp us at 333-8548. When you make your visit, make sure and wear your mask and sanitize. All COVID-19 protocols observed. Season's greetings from the management and staff at the Craftsman's Corner. Come celebrate in your corner.
The biggest one-stop store is doing it once again this Christmas season. It's Charon's. Yes, Charon's for Christmas. Get the latest design and patterns of exclusive rugs and vinyl. Also our brand new toys such as Transformers, drones, WWE wrestler stars, remote control cars, all sizes of helicopters at ridiculous prices, LED Christmas lights and amazing Christmas decorations. Also at Charon's One Stop, lots of gift items. It's Christmas like never before at Charon's. Everything is going cheap. Also, check out the latest women's wear. Now while you're there, you can pick up some storybooks for the kids for the season. Remember, Charon's is cheaper this Christmas. Also available on unique items such as household decor and ornaments for your home. Charon's will be open on Sundays until Christmas.
So hurry now to Charon's
this Christmas for all your Christmas items
at Charon's 3 locations. Eastern Main Road, San Juan. Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna. Ground floor, Trin City Mall, Trin City. Every item you need in one place.
Charon's is cheaper this Christmas, so shop now.
Have you completed an ABE RQF Level 5 qualification? Did you know that the ABE RQF Level 5 diploma qualifications are now accepted as a valid entry requirement for the final year of the internationally recognised, world-ranked University of Hertfordshire's BA Business Administration degree programme? Now, in just 1 year, you can complete your BA Business Administration degree. Contact CTS College on 868-671-2551 or email us at study@ctscollege.com or visit our website ctscollege.com.
If you're experiencing pain, constipation, headaches, poor blood circulation, high or low blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, swollen or darkened feet, come visit us at Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. We at Health and Wealth Lifestyle offer a wide range of services. Come and experience our new 3D analyzer, which allows you to have a look inside your body. We also provide live blood analysis, iridology, ionic foot detox with foot soak and foot massage, aquatherapy, full body massage, and organic supplements on sale such as Nano Silver, Nano Zinc, Body Light, cold pressed sesame oil, and more. Health and Wealth Lifestyle, located at number 73 Eastern Main Road, Barataria, opposite Eastern Credit Union. For more information, call 275-8359 or 288-1108. Join Nicole Huggins for Health and Wealth Lifestyle every Monday from 9:05 a.m. to 9:55 a.m. right here on the street 919 FM.
Police, Gade, Officer Best Price here. Johnny Q Auto Parts Division?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to investigate an assault on batteries.
Excuse me, sir?
Is it true? You have batteries selling for $488?
Yes. Power Master, Optima, Vata, and Megastar batteries.
So I could buy a battery for $488?
Yes, sir. For cars, trucks, and boats. Backed and distributed by Massey Automotive.
Which part?
Right here at Johnny Q Hardware and Auto Parts Division, 15 Arabita Avenue, Woodbrook. And our new Johnny Q Superstore, located at Lowlands Mall off Claude Noel Highway in Tobago. You could call 60 Tools.
Alright, thanks, boss. Nah, man. Ronnie,
do you have $488 to lend, man?
Hi, what's up, TNT? This is Wayne Johnson out of Brooklyn, New York. I always wanted to do something back home, and we're going to be doing our gospel segment on Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM. Listen what I want you to do. Spread the word. Spread the word, TNT.
Salvation, full and free. Salvation is for everybody.
Mondays from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight. That's 10 p.m. to 12 midnight on 91.9 FM.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 91 Eastern Main Road in St. Augustine. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new with Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Welcome the Christmas holidays this year with quality and attractive furniture from Stylist Furniture Limited. 2 locations, 51 Rushwood Street, San Fernando, and 101 Crackness Village in Princestown. Select from a wide range of contemporary furniture to enhance your homes. Now open on Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Call today, 652-2542. Season's greetings to all our customers and friends from Stylist Furniture Limited. Stylist Furniture Limited. For this time in you.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for staying locked to the Street 919 FM. So, as usual, I always have to borrow just a few minutes of your call time just to wrap up. So, with respect to Mr. Duke's resignation, as again, for those of us who are familiar with the letter that Mr. Duke sent out, his letter is sent to the Conference of Delegates expressing his hope that they will accept his resignation. And I believe there's supposed to be a meeting on Tuesday, the 21st, this meeting of the Conference of Delegates. Now, I am again reliably informed that the correct procedure that Mr. Duke was supposed to follow with respect to tendering his resignation, not offering it, and as the PSA president for the last 12 years, Mr. Duke ought to be intimately aware as to the procedure involved for tendering one's resignation, because it's spelled out in the constitution of the PSA, and he should know the constitution of the PSA inside out, right? It is my understanding that what was supposed to happen was that Mr. Duke was supposed to tender his resignation to the executive of the PSA, who would then convene a meeting of the General Council to submit the resignation, and then the General Council would convene the meeting of the Conference of Delegates for a decision to be made as to the procedure under which a new president would be selected to replace Mr. Duke, whether somebody would be appointed to act in the position or so on, or whether or not there would be a by-election of sorts. That was not followed. Again, having been the president for the past 12 years, Mr. Duke ought to be intimately aware of this. But this last point I want to make, as I said before, Mr. Duke's conundrum is the fact that he is about to see a significant cut in his remuneration, because once he gives up the position of PSA president, where he's earning, I am informed, allegedly, close to some $79,000 a month, and then whatever monies he's been receiving from this registration and certification board, duly appointed by the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, and any other job that Mr. Duke does for which he receives compensation based on the THA Act, he has to give up all of these. Listen to this. based on the salaries, the 98th report of the Salaries Review Commission, this is the salary of that Mr. Duke will be receiving, or the compensation Mr. Duke will be receiving in his capacity as a secretary, deputy chief secretary. Salary, deputy chief secretary, $20,300 a month. He will also receive a transportation allowance of $4,200 a month. He is also to receive, let me give it to you. He will receive a maximum loan of $200,000 at a rate of interest of 6% per annum, repayable over a period of 6 years, to facilitate the purchase of either a new motor vehicle with full exemption from motor vehicle tax, value-added tax and customs duty, or a used motor vehicle with full exemption from special motor vehicles tax. A loan to cover the cost of the motor vehicle insurance at a rate of 6% per annum, and a maximum of $20,000, a maximum loan of $20,000 at a rate of 6% per annum to effect repairs to the motor vehicle. He would also receive a subsistence allowance of $950 per month. So basically what we're seeing here in terms of dollars in pocket, Mr. Duke's salary as the Deputy Chief Secretary of the THA was going to be roughly $25,000 a month. A hell of a far cry from $79,000 a month as PSA president, plus whatever other monies you've been collecting elsewhere. All right, $200,000 to buy a vehicle, really, what I buy? Mr. Duke is not a wet man kind of guy. $200,000 certainly cannot buy the type of vehicle that Mr. Duke is accustomed to. Further to that, in his capacity as an assemblyman, an elected assemblyman, he will receive $9,100 per month. Which is the salary of an assemblyman, a transportation allowance of $3,250. Well, I don't know if that transportation allowance would also apply, given the fact that he's receiving a transportation allowance as Deputy Chief Secretary. So, all in all, we're looking at a salary of about maybe at best $38,000 a month, which is less than half of what Mr. Duke is alleged to be receiving now as the PSA president. How is Mr. Duke going to survive on that? How? Is he still living at One Woodbrook Place? Who is going to be footing the bill for that $10,000 a month rental? Is it that Blackstone Technologies Limited, his wife's company, would be getting contracts to underwrite this reduction in salary of more than 50%? Is it any wonder that Mr. Duke wants to hold on to certain positions? I mean, I wonder, did Mr. Duke review the Salaries Review Commission report to see what the salary of a Deputy Chief Secretary and the salary of Assemblyman is before he decided to throw his hat into the ring? Did he? Even the Chief Secretary, Fali's salary is about $27,300 a month. The second Vice President of the PSA making more money than the Chief Secretary of Tobago, the Tobago House of Assembly. Imagine that. Second Vice President, eh? So if he's second vice president of the PSA making about $30,000 a month based on something I saw recently, I can't remember, it was a newspaper, something, wherever it is. And the first vice president obviously will be making more than the second vice president, and the president will be making more than the first vice president. So for a man of Mr. Duke's caliber and Mr. Duke's stature, who was grown accustomed to a particular lifestyle, cut above the rest, having to see his salary, his income cut by more than 50%, that's a tall order. I don't know what Mr. Duke's monthly expenses are. Does he have a mortgage? Does he have things that he has to pay for? I don't know. I mean, maybe he might be able to survive on the monies that Blackstone got, even though he told us that his wife's company got no money between 2015 and now from this administration, but a newspaper article based on an investigative report that was done by a particular newspaper showed that his wife's company would have received, stated his wife's company received over $2 million, almost $3 million between 2015 to now, again under this administration. But he said they didn't get no money, so I don't know. I'm not privy to Mr. Duke's bank account. But I asked the question, right? These are questions that need to be answered. I just putting it out there, all right? So, let me see who we have here. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Jenny.
Season to you and your family and all the listeners at 91.9 on the Golden Girls, everybody, Mano, Miss Zina, Maratana, Puna, everybody. Dominic, a colleague of mine in the union would have drawn my attention to a gentleman called Joseph Goebbels. I think that is his name. He was a German propagandist.
Yes, I've heard the name.
Time. Right, and the real art of propaganda is spread a lie over and over, and then it becomes the truth. And I'm saying this in the context. When you hear how Mr. Moonilal and they will continue to describe Dr. Rowley, it's always in negative terms. He's a bully. So the new thing now is a bully. He's a bully. He's a bully. No matter what he says. And that gives the illusion in people's mind. No matter what he says, that is just the first thought in the mind that he's a bully. But that would have started back when Vanilla Allen Toppin would have used the parliament to spew her hate and nastiness, and that perception continued. So to keep that lie over and over, no matter who he explained it, no matter how the lady came and explained whatever it is, and that was happening. So I'm asking, because I'm going to spread the truth over and over and over until it dig into people's head is the truth. So I'm going to ask, is the opposition leader who's supposed to be there to keep the government in check, I think, is she an alcoholic and is she a drunk? Does she have a substance abuse problem? We want to know because she's an important part of the governance structure of this country. So I'm asking, is she a raving alcoholic, a full-long drunk? That is why she's unable sometimes to attend the sittings that is so very important that she would have raised. So I'll leave that there. With regards to that situation with Watson Solomon, I'm not going to be lengthy. There's supposed to be a conference for delegates on Tuesday. However, the Attorney General of this country would have sent that matter to court. The Constitution of Trinidad and Tobago trumps higher and more supreme than the Constitution of PSA. So if I were the conference members of PSA, I would wait until there's a determination by the court to treat that crisis that we have with our Constitution, and then from that we could do and go to a meeting, whatever. Because any decision, if they go to that conference on Tuesday, any decision that comes out of that could be deemed illegal and it could be challenged by anybody in the court. So I would hope that they will understand that they don't continue to allow Watson Group to break the laws of this country by facilitating any conference that he don't have the authority, especially when he would have took the oath on Thursday to direct any. We consider him just Mr. Juke, that the post is vacant. And yes, he has to tender his resignation in the proper way for this process to continue. We cannot start off on a wrong foot where he offer and he himself call the meeting, bypass the General Council and have a conference and expect anything legal to come out of that scenario. So I just wanted to leave it there. And again, thank you for the opportunity to reach on Sylvia. I love everybody. Love, enjoy the Christmas. Be safe. Bye.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Dominic.
Kingsley.
Yes, man. And Dominic, I must start out by trying you. And I am saying I support McDonough Jacob as the acting commissioner of Trinidad and Tobago. And you see what took place there last Friday? You ever hear that you want to fight and you try a lash and they get back about 4 lash one time?
Yes.
So when he tried to label McDonald Jacob as a police, as a PNM, Dr. Rowley says, not me, I never went in restaurant and sat down with a commissioner. I never went, a commissioner party. So they get up one by one. They start to say, oh God, look up Rowley, but all your show, all your lash first, all your show, all your peacock, remain the goodly, the honorable acting commissioner. I feel so proud to say it, the acting commissioner, McDonald Jacob. It's shame. And Dominic, why is they trying to punch down the man? Because I want to tell them something. If you feel McDonald Jacob soft and only go do him what only didn't do Gary, well, you have to write for promotion to the acting commissioner, because now McDonald have same powers like a regular commissioner. And you have to write here for permission to go and march. So no unlawful marching will be taking place in this country. None whatsoever. Gary said so, and so it shall be until that law move. Gary make it permanent. So we have to blame Gary for that. And I want to, again, on your time, Dominic, thank the AG for taking this matter to court, where the public will get a feel and a relaxed mood after the court decide if the AG right or if Wasenjuk and Fali and them right by, he can hold two positions as the PSA leader and the deputy political leader of the chief secretary in Tobago. And this is a victory not for the PNM, win, lose or draw, but this is a victory for the court. And they say that we live in a democratic country, that they could go to court, and the court will decide on Wasenjuk going forward in the politics and the PSA in days to come. So, if the AG lost, I don't want to hear he lost. No. It is a win for him. And I will stand up and defend it, because why? I am confused. And the court will decide now. The court will correct, interpret the law and tell us what the law means and what is what. And after that, if you get a free part of the court, well, it's a victory for the people. Not even said for Wasenjuk, but for the people to understand the law. So if this thing ever happen again in time to come, in years to come, we have an idea about the law. And Dominic, as I close, I want to tell these supermarket owners and them, and these groceries owners and them, are watching Oleo. My eyes on Oleo. Because in the last 2 years, we had to ask the question, who was making money? Because I can remember the first lockdown when only gas station, drugstores, pharmacies, and the supermarket and the grocery was remain open. And all the malls, they closed, the malls, of course, clothes stores, shoe stores. And if I get a case of beer, you have to go by the grocery, all these wholesale place with some case of beer and everything, it closed. Only the grocery, the supermarket, was making money in the last 2 years, almost 2 years. And I think that all they get spoiled. And all you feel that, because, listen to me, when last you walk in, Dominic, to a supermarket or a grocery and see a line, there's no line again. You know, supermarket, walk in free, buy where you want, do where you want. When last you ever have that out there, call you and tell me which supermarket, which grocery have a line that people have to line up. They are taking 10 inside of people, because that is the gathering law. 10. When you walk in a grocery now, it's 30 and 40 and 100 people all in the grocery. Go now in the grocery and see if a lion. Go now in the supermarket and see if a lion. But all they do is I support making supermarket and grocery a safe zone. I want to make it clear. I believe that having an open free pass with the supermarket and the groceries and them. Because I ask the question, where is the line? Where is the line outside? How much people are you taking to come in all your supermarket and all your groceries? How much people are you taking? And I agree with the government making supermarket, and if they have to bring a law, to charge these owners of these supermarket and them, so let it be. Because they have to make These supermarket and groceries are safe zone because they wanted me out of control. So Dominic, as I close, again, I ask the question. I support the acting commissioner 100%, McDonald Jacob. I also said to the public, the AG, don't care what win, lose or draw, it is a win to the public. And I also call on the supermarket owners of them to join in the country and join the right thinking people and support the government and the policies of saving life, most of all, of saving life, making supermarket and them a safe zone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kingsley. Some interesting perspectives there. 3420081 4665391. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Greetings.
Calling from Iwer, Princetown. I'm the guy who last week, Sunday was my birthday, 66.
Ah, welcome.
Yeah, nah. It's easy to get in. Yeah, no. Hello. If you don't have a monthly plan for a house phone, you know what happening, but thank God I have a plan. No, right, good. Right, let's get on to business. Number one. Well, it's over 1 month I had been speaking to people who work with the government for years, and they said, me taking that.
Mm-hmm.
Hello? I work in Asia, works for about 6 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I spoke to a worker from here who works Princetown, Matilda. But let me say 20 days ago, I noticed told me that she's not taking that. So, boy, I'm so happy. Dominic, like I won a lotto prize last night, only because at the end, my Prime Minister mentioned it yesterday. Yeah, that's a blessing. Dominic, that's a blessing. Because you know why? That is how the things change. But you see, opposition and other clowns on the street, not seeing it that way, no? Yeah, Dominic, I don't know what they're seeing. Maybe they're seeing... Maybe they're seeing, maybe up in the sky, no aeroplane. No, because no. I am a man. I sell on the street, in Princeton. So I'm a grown man. So I could tell you what goes on. In the week, a gentleman, he's over 60 years. You see, why when so and so, and people close to me, so I tell him, he's up. Well, he said, if you take the vaccine, hello, he's over 60 years. He said, me taking that because people wasn't dying so frequently, but now as the vaccine comes, people dying. I say, yeah. So I said, better you see you? No, you see, Dominic, I don't want to tell him that. Could you remember, no playway machine, no malls, no KFC, 10 to go in the grocery. Look, we are closed from May, I think, to I think September. Look,
yes.
All those months, people was, kind of locked down. But you know what happened? He said, no. Well, I mean, my point is not to tell him that because you know why he ain't taking the vaccine. So hear me. I say, brother, you see you? I just hope you could live forever. And I run fast. My point is, Dominic, between sharing wild, like a Sunday lunch. And it's unfair because a while ago, if you hear Mr. Gopi sing on the 12 o'clock news on 9:05, oh God, if you hear that, boy, poor Mr. Poor Dr. Rowley, If I know 3/4 of the country want him to die now, because they hate him. But Dominic, I am happy that they reached to that. So it's either you stay home with no pay, or you take the vaccine, or you go to your doctor and see if you can. Because Dominic and Dominic, trust me, you say by the middle of January, assured by after the middle of January, 30 days after or 40 days after, assured the debt will to come down. You don't think so that way?
I look forward to that.
Yeah, no, but don't, no, I looking forward. That is the answer, because when you add and subtract, that is the only answer you're getting. Take the shot. Look, I went to my last shot Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday in Princeton here, so brother. I don't want to go into what's in Duke and you know, but all night to my friend. Have a great day. Good show as usual.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Greetings.
Yeah, like 3 minutes on the phone, but you know, I have a cell phone, my money topping out. I just want to wish you and the family of 1929, you know, Merry Christmas. Have a bright New Year. You know, I listened to the contribution from Kingsley, Miss Jenny, and that last guy there. That's what I saw this morning, Dominic, that almost had my jaw drop like a cartoon character, right?
What's that?
I was eating my breakfast and thing, and guess what I saw? Mr. Wetton after Mr. Wetton advocating for the job. I couldn't believe it, you know, Dominic.
Yes.
I said, but wait now. He didn't have a party card with the people who are against the job.
Yes.
But this is even I was saying, I say he come back home in the fold of the Balize. He advocating for the job. Then you see the advertisement saying that he's going to end up in a coffin. And he telling the people take the job there. I couldn't believe my eyes, you know.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, but wait now, I could have won the champion in Tobago. But I can't go see him, so I don't know.
Yes.
Well, all I can tell the people, I hope all are satisfied now, or let us go to the beach. But still, being that this is Trinidad and Tobago, they give them an inch, go take a mile. If people do not do what they're supposed to be doing, or they're going to see an extra, or they're going to see a proportional high death rate in this country, you know, people complaining that they can't hold the bodies are piling up in the funeral homes. People not taking this thing seriously. And the reason why Tamara Patel and them getting on so in the parliament, because they feel they had 307,000 votes. So that emboldened them. And apparently they changed their color from yellow to green. But I want to remind Kamala Patel that you didn't join a Green Party in 2013?
Yes.
And don't you find it strange that the Tobago Party that won, it had the same color scheme as the one that was from in 2013? You ever think about that? It's very interesting, huh?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe the person who founded that party, maybe he was a party card member of the Green Party in 2013. I don't know. It makes you want to think, huh?
Yes.
You know, but no matter if you get green on the outside, yellow inside. And for something, you know, Dominic, you have to remind the people, certain people, they just read the Bible upside down. You should ask the pastor on them, why did God tell Moses to build a copper snake so the people will live from the snake bite? What is the science in that? Why God didn't tell Moses to build a rat or a hawk or some other thing, but he tell Moses to build a snake, a copper snake, so the people will be, you know, healed from the snake bites that was tormenting the Israelites. Remember that? Let them people think about it, and they will understand the science, how vaccines are created and how antidotes are created. People have to think out of the box. Miracles don't exist again. That's why wisdom comes with the thing. Have scientists out there who knows what to do in treating or preventing diseases from affecting your body. Sometimes you have to fight poison with poison, correct?
Yes.
So explain to these people about the copper snake, because apparently certain people don't read the Bible properly. And they still treat this thing as an antichrist and the mark of the beast. But I could probably say my credit card is the mark of the beast too. People who using credit card and card is probably the mark of the beast as well. Pastor Google, sorry, Dominic, you have a good day.
You too, sir.
Thank you. Think about the copper snake.
Yes. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic, my brother.
Greetings.
Dominic, I'm staying on the point. I'm not getting off. I'm staying on the point. I am not getting off the point that you're trying to make. Now, what since you end up as to be like a boss to workers now? Like he is a person hiring workers. You cannot be a person hiring workers and be the person who representing the workers. And that is where he finds himself in the problem he has today. From the minute he went up for that position and going up for that position, he had a right to resign from the PSA. But this man has so much games, and like he want to make law into his own hand and make his own law, because if you realize the behavior, his friend Farley Augusta, Farley is saying to the AG that I am not taking no. Now the AG is the person who's supposed to give advice to Trinidad and Tobago. And if the AG come up with something we look underhand, he could give advice to the THA and he could give advice to the Prime Minister. That is his job. So he wasn't doing anything wrong. So Watson and them is playing game with the people. Reality is that Watson them retaliate towards Trinidad. Win the election, good. Nobody has no problem with that, you know. Because there are some people in Tobago who just don't like Trinidad yet. They have it inside of them. I don't know what we do them, but I know we love them as a brother and a sister. And the ones who want all to separate and go all their own path, they don't love all their brothers if all they only know the truth. The fool all they with gas and oil and tell all they could go out all their own risk. And all they could go out all their own. And when the gas and oil is in Kumoto waters, listen, the gas and oil is in Kumoto waters, and the best way to get the gas and oil out is through Tobago waters. People don't know that. I get my thing from good sources, you know. So when all they separate from the gas and oil will come to Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad waters, and all they will end up with. Think about the things that they're doing, you know. They don't really love all they, you know. Because they have done seats, 21, 20 seats, direct. So once they get rid of all the way, they win an election going and come in, I know all them about. They don't love all there. They don't care about all there. Think about it. But what if you put yourself in a serious situation? Because you cannot be the boss. It's like this. I have a business. I hire people. They're working for me. But I the person who representing them in the court when they agree, right? Oh man, this is an easy like writing. And that is what the AG really saying and smart enough. But like they ain't catching on. So if you go to court, I can assure you, you will lost. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic boy.
Good day, sir.
Season's greetings, man, and Merry Christmas to everybody, man.
And to you.
And a bright and prosperous New Year.
Yes.
Dominic, when I'm in a euphoric mood, and a celebratory mood since yesterday after that press conference. Dominic, I feel like I could go on to be Twin Towers and fly up. You ever hear the saying, no matter how long day run, night must catch it?
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So I must say, boy, thanks to Dr. Rowley, I didn't come to be liked. I took an oath, fear, favor, affection, or ill will. I come to do a job. And in 4 years, all they could decide what all they want to do because I gone. People, Dominic, people don't understand, right, that health workers need a break. Cemeteries fill in, right? Funeral homes overfilling. But people want to be on the payroll and don't want to be responsible. So safe zones in government, in ministries. So I feel, Dominic, that people tell me they're rather dead. Don't take that. So my Christmas is so sweet now because so far you could run. Long rope from Magagoat. Or they could do long rope from Magagoat. out. It must get dehydrated and tired. So, Dominic, all these selfish people, I want to hear what they go do now. I want the tricky guardians right now, they're planning how to get out of this, how to obscure out of this. Well, Dominic, if you miss me for the Christmas, boy, or somewhere up El Capush, look at you take a nice little fly up and a dive home. I'm so happy. Thanks, Dr. Rowley. God bless you. Yeah, Dominic, you say strong.
You too, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, caller from here.
Greetings.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah. I just want to say something concerning the commissioner, what went on in Parliament for this.
Yes.
You know, when I check it out in truth, remember we keep saying certain things that Gary Griffith, as commissioner, when the Dr. Rory said he lost confidence in him and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
People told me to just a few things like how you call it again, disrespect, and maybe the Pinkerman situation with the how you call it again, commissioner, but
yes.
it is much from his from Munilal talking in Parliament yesterday. Open his for what day? Open his mouth. You know, there are things that come from Dr. Rowley that we understand to be well deeper than that, because if you check out Jumpy Munina and it was after they say that, and Dr. Rowley started to and explain, considering not only the party we're talking about, you know,
yes,
because Dr. Rowley said he was invited to that party also and he didn't go,
yes,
right?
Mm-hmm.
But he come back and he say our investigation was stopped because the remember that investigation was stopped when the same Munina and Mr. Griffith were lining together in some place. Remember that part? Remember when they jump up with that part and they start to get on?
Yes.
No, that is one that showed Dr. Rowley plenty, that investigation which was going on and was stopped. And so, I just want to say, it have a lot of things. So when Mr. Griffith is talking about how he have this and he have that, I just want people to know what you're going on and listen. And I always say that something wrong somewhere within that whole team with Griffith and them with that thing. Because that investigation was supposed to continue. And I know the vex about it.
Yes.
Because it stopped. Because Munila is his friend. You understand? And they inform him.
Yes.
And he and the commissioner was lying, right? So I just say he opened his mouth and a lot of stories jump out. And you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel they open them out. I don't know why they just open them out. They have no defense. And all of them just came up because they don't want Dr. He bring the thing and I'm talking about how damn political thing with because the doctor with PNM go, but kind of control because the thing. And you know fully well that it is so. Now you get yourself in thing, you chat all of them start to jump up and they can't hear what's going on. They're like little children. Every time you think, they're pushing, and when they're done, they're jumping up and like, can you understand? Like if they always calling to the speaker and using the wrong arm, how you call it, standing order and all these kind of things. Because they want to muzzle, they're trying to muzzle Dr. Rowley, but they can't do that. Thank you for allowing me this contribution, Dominic.
Yes, sir.
You take care and enjoy your stay.
You too. Mr. Barataria.
Morning, sir.
Greetings.
How are you this morning, my brother?
I am good, and yourself?
Well, I am great. But I have a question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
That the government is now making safe zones.
Yes.
Is the Parliament going to be a safe zone, Dominic? Because I have to wonder, the status of the lady in the yellow shoes that was toting, because Jenny had a question asking whether or not the opposition leader has an addiction to some sort of substance. Because after seeing her being toted sometime in a yellow shoe behind a box, that leads me to question. And after not telling us her purpose or not taking the jab, it leads me to wonder whether she's medically well, or is it because of her substance abuse she's unable to take the jab. So that leads me to question. So when we get into Parliament, seeing that the government is putting safe zones, I would like to know what is the opposition's jab position. Has she taken the jab, and is she willing to tell her supporters to take the jab? So I wait to see. But this morning, congratulations, because after seeing Watson Duke have some questions to answer, Farley, well, this would go down in history, you know. I wonder if a police from Trinidad leave and go to Tobago to lock up anybody. After Farley make that statement, that means that a police officer from Trinidad can't go to Tobago to lock up nobody because people in Tobago is only taking advice
yes.
from Tobagonians.
Yeah.
We not that, you know. No, because you see, I miss a man. We had election two weeks ago, the Tobago election.
Mm-hmm.
And on a Saturday, we just have a man on a Saturday. Just fight for African people. And I realized since after the election for 2 days, for 2 weeks, that brother has disappeared. And what the brother is playing is claiming victimization. So I'm asking that question. To the man who tell me put a nickel a day and we'd raise so much millions, what has your organization raised for that length of time? Black people, stop playing with black people's mind in this country and wake up now, please. You see that fella didn't vote? They had this testicular fortitude to pick a side of the fence. And we wanted, so that means it's 16 constituencies they represent or 18?
19.
19. That means that the police commissioner is only police commissioner for the remaining 21. Not for them. Enjoy your day, my brother, and be safe home.
You too. Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I say with African people, the same African people, men, Hamudela, and them talking so much foolishness about the Prime Minister. But Mudela to remember, them supposed to be in jail all now. All of them. And yeah, black people really stand up who they could call PNM, really stand up for them. He had to remember, Mudela to remember, that same black man, they say send somebody to school and things. So no matter remember that. And I respect for black people out here. Trust me that I respect for black people. Through this set of black men who feel with them and they don't like them, you feel they like African, they don't like African people. African people in only house, any man could go in any nation could go in a house with their daughter. The same black man who play the thing in home the land, them could go in the house. They cannot go in the house and they can't for their daughter. But that's how I respect for African people out here. Respect us, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Dominic.
Greetings, sir. Merry Christmas to you too.
How are you, sir?
I am good, no complaints.
Blessings, man. Now, Dominic, I listened to your clip this morning, and I wondering, why are we in Trinidad and Tobago paying our opposition just either to not come in the parliament, either to abandon the parliament, either not to support anything in the parliament? Why are we in Trinidad and Tobago paying our opposition, Dominic?
That's a good question. To oppose.
You know, I listening to your clip, and all the names called out on the opposition side are saying about we. It has certain names I ain't here called.
Yes.
And then after the clip and you start your conversation, you start telling us all who was missing from the parliament. And if I'm mistaken, I think it's in either earlier this month or sometime in last month, in some one of these Caribbean countries, opposition, a member from opposition attend parliament for a couple days, and his pay was reducted, Dominic, for not attending parliament.
Yes.
So, what is we have as a parliament in Trinidad and Tobago, a school where you get holidays on August?
Yeah, it seems so.
That the parliament we running in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dominic?
Yes. And then you bring a note from your parents to say why you didn't come.
To say why you didn't attend class or school?
Yeah.
Something wrong with the parliament in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dominic? Some laws or some way have to change. That's why I keep saying, Dominic, we need a a parliament with fellas like you, Pastor Google. What about my big brother Dane?
Dane is good. He is good.
Give me blessings when you any time you speak to him for me, please.
I will.
But we need a parliament with fellas like you all, Dominic, to exchange the ideas from the parliament. When you hear that parliament, we must have a second parliament, which called the youth parliament, where we could dissect things and deal with situations in Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dominic, because we haven't that opposition in Trinidad and Tobago, just people in a classroom and waiting till August to go on holidays. Mr. Dominic, you have a beautiful day, a balance of the week, and you take care for me, please. Thank you.
You too, sir.
And thanks for your time very kindly.
You're most welcome.
Okay, blessings. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, Dominic.
Good afternoon, sir.
Is it that when Luke becomes the ambassador of Tobago and sets up office in Trinidad, will he get an additional stipend for being the ambassador? One.
Well,
will he be getting a per diem for not being in Tobago? Because when you're not in your position, you don't get a per diem.
Yes.
Two, if he renting a building or his own building to house this embassy, three, I'm trying to see how he making back the money now.
Yeah.
That he's going to lose. Is he now hiring a set of people who may not be there to get that additional funds?
Ghost gang.
Yeah, asking, and I'm trying to help him make back his money because clearly he's free to leave the PSA.
Yes.
But there's a concern that people not even recognizing. If he is the deputy secretary, let me go back a little bit. To be the president of the PSA, he must be a public servant.
Correct, yes.
If he is the chief secretary, that means he cannot be working at WASA.
Correct.
So that means he cannot be a public servant. So therefore, he is not the president of the Public Service Association at this point in time because he cannot hold the two jobs.
Yes.
So I don't know what people is fighting up with the issue of the PSA and saying he is not a public servant. And not being a public servant, he cannot be the president of the Public Service Association.
Yes.
And that's simple as that. And the final question I want to ask Mr. Farley, the Chief Secretary, you don't want to speak to the Attorney General. So when you set up your embassy in Trinidad, what laws will you be using to set up this embassy? You creating some new laws in Trinidad and Tobago that we don't know about? Make it make sense for me, please. Have a good day.
You too, sir. That's our final call for today. We are out of time, but not out of things to say. So you can join Sharon and Bruce again in the morning, 6:15 for Titans of Democracy. And then I will be back with you on Tuesday morning, God's willing, where we will continue the conversation. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend. All the fortunate public servants who will be getting an additional week off, well, you know, or Lucas and the Prime Minister, try and balance it too now. Oh gosh, give my blight. I'll get a whole week off. So you could anyway. And the beach will be open tomorrow. Remember, from 5 to 12. So do the needful. Also, just a public service announcement. The Member of Parliament for Lupino Bonner, he's having the final installment of his just now. Let me just get it here quickly. Right. Right, so he'll have the final phase of his annual Christmas caravan for the beautiful constituency of Lupino Bonaire West. Today the sleigh will be in NUGFW, Pine Ridge and environs, Surrey Village and Lupino Village. So you asked to bring your mask, collect a toy, say hi to Santa and enjoy the feel-good spirit of Christmas. So it's going to be epic. So if you're in that constituency, come out. So, as I said, I'm out for today and we'll chat again on Tuesday.